What's up, nerdlings?
What's up, nerdlings?
Do you nerd for the Nintendo Switch?
I do.
Hey, welcome back. This is Tom and Lacey of Do You Nerd, the variety channel, where we love to share all of our nerdy interests with you. And this one here, this gamer girl, is absolutely in love with the Nintendo Switch.
It is by far my favorite console ever.
We had a terrible idea of, let's go through all of the games that we have as of right now. This was a bad idea. As we started gathering things, we realized this was a terrible idea.
Well, and this is literally just the games and the console. It's not even the peripherals that we've bought for this system. So,
and we're not talking any digital games. There's loads of those. We have so many of those on our consoles as well. But yeah, we're not going to talk digital. Speaking of consoles, what have you got going on over here? Yeah, look at this. Oh yeah, there's two of us.
Wait, one more. So between the two of us, we have 5 Switches.
Oh my gosh. Now to be fair, one is like the Zelda one, the Zelda OLED. I had to have that because it was Zelda. One is our day one Switch.
Yes.
You got the Animal Crossing one.
Yes, because I absolutely love Animal Crossing, but I actually used the Lite everywhere we went because it was just so much better. But then I got old and I couldn't see it anymore. So that's when I upgraded and I got the OLED and I bought the Splatoon one just because it was pretty. I've never played Splatoon. Don't really know anything about it. It's just the colors were so pretty. Because I'm an 80s child, I love paint splatter.
And as of filming this, who knows when this video will actually come together and go out, but as of filming, there is one more that's already pre-ordered waiting in the wings. But hey, that's a whole other story. So let's talk about some games. You know, in no particular order, because this is already a mess as is. Let's just start grabbing some games. We got the huge Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition. Again, we love Zelda stuff, the art style and everything. All the goodies that came in this, we had to have that. And when it came out initially, the Breath of the Wild. These huge boxes. Like, why are these so big?
I know, the cartridge is literally like this big.
It's kind of funny. The Scott Pilgrim case. Now, we actually did a full video of this, so please check that video out if you want to see all the good stuff in here. Let's just say this game is what got us into the limited run games. Rabbit hole, we wanted a physical copy of the game.
Yes.
And when we learned it was coming to Switch, of all things, we went big. All the way with the big boy.
Well, speaking of big limited run things, you want to grab my favorite one, which is the Jumanji one. Absolutely love the packaging of this one. They did it just like the board game where it kind of opens like, you know, from top to bottom. But then you've got the pieces. It comes with the actual game board pieces, which was so cool. It's one of my favorite movies. So I was super excited to get this.
Another video that we did. So go check out that video to see all the nice closer uppers. It's your turn.
Oh, yeah. Why not talk about my other favorite game when I was a kid?
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. We did a video on this
We did.
Well, to see all the close-ups.
Unfortunately, I had to get the red gun, which is the guy's gun, because I wanted the Switch version. So I am still on the lookout for the PlayStation version, which comes with the blue gun. So awesome!
I think we did a video on To the Moon.
Yes, because I had a plushie in it. That was the only reason I wanted this game. I'm not joking.
So this is actually like a super sweet, heart-wrenching RPG, and it's got that fantastic, almost 16-bit looking style. If you like the graphical style of Stardew, you're going to love how this looks.
It came with such an adorable plushie.
Something that we got just for the toys was the Starlink, the version on Nintendo Switch. We had to get this version because of the Star Fox tie-in with the R-Wing. I haven't even played this game, but I really like the idea of having the R-Wing fit onto your controller.
That is kind of fun.
You know, for everyone who grew up like moving the controller as you play, now you have a reason to, because you're literally flying a jet.
Oh, speaking of another one that I got because it came with a plushie, I wanted the big box version because it came with a plush dragon, and we all know me and plushies.
It looks like a super adorable game as well. Something that I think that you'll love once you spend some time with it and get out of your Disney dreamlight one of these days. Also, there you go, guys. Hey, you want to sell a game to this one here and put it in a big box bundle? Just throw a plushie in there and she's sold.
Yeah.
I have to apologize. We did not do a video of this because at the time it seemed like everyone was doing an unboxing to show it off. I really, really wanted the Wayfarer's edition of Octopath Traveler.
It came with some neat extras.
It really did. And you were super sweet to get this for me. And I feel incredibly bad because I just can't get into the game. I probably sunk 50 to 60 hours into the game, and I didn't care about the characters or where the story was going. So I feel so bad that we went all out for a game that by every bit of looks and who put it out, I should love.
But you know, it's one of those things, it's like it never bothers me if we get games for each other and we don't like it, because you never know if you're going to like a game. You're only going off of the trailer or like the way it looks, and so you hope that you're going to like it, and then you play it and either you do or you don't. So don't feel bad.
This was kind of an interesting thing to pick up. We got Mario and Luigi. These are the Mario Kart Live home circuits. So these are the things that are RC cars that you race around in real time. And it gives you kind of like the virtual looking track on your Switch that you set up in your home.
I was actually super excited to get these, and we've actually never got them out and played them.
To be fair though, our house is weird. Our bedrooms have hardwood floors, but the rest is carpeted. I don't think these guys are going to race very well on carpet, which is why we've never done anything with them.
Sometimes, though, we just get things for the collection of it because, you know, we want to get them when they first come out so that we're not getting them later when they skyrocketed in price, even if we know we're not going to do anything with it for a while. This
big boy came from Limited Run Games. The game looks fun. It looks like it is chock full of all kinds of 80s pop culture references. I mean, the main guys look like they're straight out of G.I. Joe, as is, with every Saturday morning cartoon trope you can imagine. Because of the toys, we had to get this.
Yep.
I think we did a video on this, but I think that's been ages ago.
It has been. I didn't notice that. If you don't have the toys in there, you can see the picture from the other side. Or you can see a Tom. There is a game that you had to get on Nintendo Switch, and why is that?
Because this game will never, ever be on a Nintendo console. But it is now.
And let me say that for the record, I want to state that Night Trap will never appear on a Nintendo system.
I think we did a video of this.
Because we have it on a bunch of different systems. We inadvertently started collecting Night Trap accidentally because of this.
But I can't remember if we did the PlayStation 4 version unboxing or if we did this unboxing.
I don't remember.
Either way, yeah. As you said, we inadvertently started to collect them all until we started to go down that rabbit hole and realize...
It came out on a lot of things.
Yeah, it did. Holy cow. But hey, if you're going to get the game that was never to be on a Nintendo console, you're going to go for the big box. Series of games that I absolutely love are the Shantae games. And I was a sucker whenever Limited Run started putting out these big box versions. So Risky's Revenge, the director's cut, this one was a lot of fun anyway.
I personally like Risky Boots best. I just like her like skull bra. It's cool looking.
But it's a double-sided poster.
Oh, because we get the swimsuit edition.
Maybe we do need to find some wall space after all.
Nice.
And thanks to Bandana, we have the fun little, still big boxes, but they very much emulate the style of the Game Boy and Game Boy Color boxes. So we do have Risky's Revenge here as well. And then the very original as it was released. And these are chock full of some fun little goodies, some steel books and everything. But more importantly, the Shantae games are just a ton of fun.
They are cool.
Action platforming, Metroidvania style gameplay.
It reminds me back to when I was in high school and I actually had long hair. Or not high school, grade school. And I had long hair and I actually would smack boys with my ponytail.
That's weird. Got to go with the standard, like Mega Man 11. We got the version that came with the amiibo figure. Because
why not? Amiibo.
We had to have all the amiibos. But hey, also, it is Mega Man. And Mega Man 10 and 11 were kind of return to forms for the classic style of Mega Man gameplay. This is one that we got because we were very curious about the game. Everything about it has kind of an X-Files vibe.
Yeah.
But then also that classic LucasArts point-and-click adventure.
It very much reminds me of the old like PC games we used to get back in the day.
Which I think it'll be a lot of fun to play. We just have to carve out time to play it. We normally take all of our games out of the cases.
We do.
And keep them in little storage cases. But without seeing the boxes, and some of the bigger boxes are high on shelves or kind of tucked away on other shelves, it's like out of sight, out of mind, which is why I think we keep forgetting about some of these big boys. Another shout out to Bandana. He hooked us up with the Super Nintendo version box of Zombies Ain't My Neighbors. So now we have both. And cool throwback boxes. You have Yooka-Laylee here, looking exactly like a Nintendo 64 box, which is perfect because when you have a game that's so strongly modeled off of Banjo-Kazooie, that is exactly the style that you want to emulate even in its physical presentation.
And when you played that game, I fell in love with the character so much that you managed to find me a plushie of it.
I had given them a hard time on Twitter, and I referenced it in that video, that it had taken so long for them to get that collector's edition to us that we would be willing to forgive them if they sent some cookies. He honors his cookie pack, and he did. So some red velvet Oreos.
Here's a little stack from a fun company that I like to buy games from, Funbox Media. Perky Little Things was a very interesting one because this is a very naughty point-and-click, hide-and-seek style game.
It is a lot of fun, though. It's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yes, and even more is the booklet that comes with this.
It is definitely adult-only.
I also got the Waifu Uncovered one. So this is a shooter. There's not a whole lot of meat and potatoes behind it, but there's a lot of meat and potatoes on that screen.
Wedding tackle.
Boo Party was actually a fun one. Again, Funbox Media does a great job of, in their games, they inject a lot of, as you said, tongue-in-cheek humor. A lot of these pop culture references, little Easter eggs, nerdy things. And this was great, checking out this haunted house and finding all manner of things to look around for. Or you could always go the more puzzle game route with Block Knockers.
What blocks you knocking around?
Now, this is very reminiscent of the style of game of NES days, Bubble Bath Babe. So it's like, solve a little puzzle, see some naughty bits, and there you go. Now, Dream Cutter just looked like a ton of fun to play, even though it has that more adult-oriented skew look to it. But Funbox Media hasn't really let me down yet, so I was all too happy to add this to the collection. What's so fun about collecting some of these games is that they're exactly the style of games that you never thought that you would see on Nintendo, which is why it's fun to see them on Nintendo. Kind of like Night Trap, it's just amping that up a little bit.
Well, this is one of my games that I like to play, 2 Point Campus. I actually have not got to try the Campus one, but 2 Point Hospital was a game that I absolutely loved playing because it modeled off of a hospital game I used to play on the PC back in the 90s. And it's another one of those fun, tongue-in-cheek, like the issues are really weird and made up ailments, and then the school subjects are made up and really wonky and weird. And this box version actually came with the hospital version if you didn't have that already.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Hey, twofer. Gun Pixies, because of my enjoyment of lewd style games. This fun, funky little shooter was from Sega Head. You're shrunk down. You're going around firing at things like girls and fun things happen. Premium edition games are people that put out a lot of great physical copies of games. This one is the Pigeon Dev Games Collection. Was this one that we got from Jen? Okay.
Yeah, we had her pick this up for us at another convention because we first saw this at Siege and we regretted not picking it up while we were there. I think we forgot to go back and get it.
Recently from Premium Edition Games, I picked up Wife Quest. So you've got a single purpose. Rescue Fernando, your kidnapped husband, who's been snatched by Morgana, the dark elf. But would you rescue me?
Of course I would.
If I were kidnapped by a dark elf?
Yes.
Well, she's like really hot, and like I didn't really mind if you took your time.
You'd be in very big trouble.
I think I'm already in very big trouble. This, if you saw in our Mo GameCom pickup video, was a gift from Sean 8-Bit Glitch. I'm still super bummed that we didn't bust this out and play with everyone.
Think about it while we were there.
White Castle on the brain, man. Sonic Mania Plus, because I mean, let's face it, Sega does what Nintendo don't, which is why now I'm playing their mascot on a Nintendo system. Oh, is it still a little too soon for that burn? We went with Streets of Rage 4 for a couple of reasons. One, co-op games We love to play video games
Yes.
together, so any type of brawler is usually up our alley because we get to work together in them. We also got it because you are a lifelong fan of Streets of Rage.
I am. My dad and I used to play that when I was a kid on the Genesis.
Which is exactly why we went for the case. That's like a giant
Look,
Genesis.
it's even got the hang tag.
They did it so right with the clamshells.
They really did.
While not as big as the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom box, this big Link's Awakening box is pretty cool. It had a lot of great pieces in it. I'm trying to remember
love the art in that
if we
game.
did an unboxing for this specifically or not. Guys, the videos kind of run together after a while. But hey, if you don't know what Link's Awakening is by now, especially the remake, shame on you.
Sorry.
I don't Pokemon. This one does.
I do. I usually can't ever decide which one I want to play because, like, I don't know which monster is cool or not. So if they come out with these doubles, I always really go for the double ones because then I don't have to pick. I can just, like, pop back and forth.
Honestly, as far as collection purposes, I think that's a great move down the line anyway.
And a lot of times they'll give you something special, like extra points or extra something or other, or an extra, you know, monster that you wouldn't get otherwise if you didn't buy the double pack.
You played Sword
I played
first,
the Sword,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I started playing this one, and I think I started playing Diamond, but I didn't get very far because Disney Dreamlight Valley came out.
Which, by the way, I mean, I guess second time mentioning it, it should get an honorary mention because you got the digital version.
I did get the digital because there was no physical at the time, and there wasn't even mention of a physical game coming out. So I did buy the Ultimate Deluxe blah 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 on digital, and then later on the physical came out. So it's one of those things, if I ever find it somewhere really inexpensive, I'll go ahead and get the physical just to have it because we always like to have the physical if we can, just in case servers go down and whatnot. I probably could say it's my all-time favorite game. I've been playing it for like 2 years straight now, non-stop.
I went ahead and grabbed the bigger box version of Flashback, the 25th anniversary edition. I never actually played Flashback, but its precursor, Out of This World, I did play, and I really enjoyed that game. Always wanted to give Flashback a try. We actually found this pretty cheap at the time, so I was like, all right, yeah, I'll go the pseudo big box for that. Again, some great looking physical editions by Premium Edition. You've got Demon's Tier, and we had Retro Gamer Boy help us by showing off his gaming skills with that.
Blow up all explosive barrels, etc. As you work to achieve your quest to unlock the next floor, you'll come across gold and silver keys.
And you've got Cathedral. Just one of those games that it looks like a ton of fun, and I really love the art style in these games. That's like the main thing that draws me into them. All right, guys, pretty sure that's all of our big box goodies out of the way.
I didn't realize we had so many big boxes.
Yeah, well, they're spread out all over the house.
They really are.
Now we've got all of the smaller singular cases. Again, in no particular order, let's just start going through them. Hey, Red Dead Redemption, what a fantastic game. Initially played it on the PS3, always wanted to give it another play. My perfect excuse is whenever it gets a port because I haven't played that version, so I'm not wasting my time replaying a game I've already played.
I don't mind because I love old Western stuff. 2 Point Hospital, like I said, absolutely love this game. I didn't need it from the 2 Point Campus, but this game is the reason I got 2 Point Campus because I have so much fun with this one. So hopefully I will have fun with 2 Point Campus.
Sea of Stars. Everything about this game is essentially Chrono Trigger, which is all the reason I need to play it. Now I just need the time to actually play it. But I figured now that I can get a physical copy of it, I might as well have it so it is ready to go. This sweetheart here got me Princess Peach Showtime. Now, I enjoyed Super Princess Peach back on the handheld, and this one I was actually looking forward to. I love all of the cutesy little costumes that she puts on, and I love how it changes up the gameplay. Plumbers don't wear ties. Let's face it, this is one of those games that was pretty much a joke heard around the world. Having it on some kind of physical format that doesn't cost us an arm and a leg or, you know, a tie, then yeah, why not? And of course, it's, again, another weird game for the Switch. Boom, co-op alert right here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Shredder's Revenge Anniversary Edition.
So you're a longtime Turtle fan to begin with.
Yes, always loved the cartoon, never read the comics.
And if you so chose, you can play as April O'Neil.
Which I probably will.
Final Fantasy, the Pixel Collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
That one took a while for you to get.
Oh my gosh, yes it did. Pretty sure I got this from Play Asia, and it just like sat waiting to be filled for so long. But now I can go back and not make the time to play 6 RPGs, much less one of the newer ones. Waifu 2 discovered. So this is the medieval fantasy. So it's taking some of those modern girls and swapping them out with some fantasy, medievally, elven, magical. They're all magical from the looks of it. The Valis collection, including Valis 1, 2, and 3. This was a great way to have some classic games all in one place. And I think this is a game that I made sure I actually bought 2 copies of, because I hooked up Sega Head with one.
I think so, yeah.
Because I think that I felt he needed to experience those games as well. Longtime Contra fan, so the Contra Anniversary Collection. Now, this is one of those games that I kind of went back and forth on getting digitally, but let's face it, physical forever, guys. Come on. Gal Guardians was one that the lady here got for me because I kept eyeballing. It looked like a very fun Metroidvania 2D side-scrolling adventure, and I was super curious about checking it out. The only problem is when I started playing it, I had just finished playing through 3 of the 4 Castlevania Advanced Collection games, so I kind of burnt myself out on that Castlevania style gameplay, and I was like, I'm gonna have to come back to that one. And shout out to Sega Head and Mike, Retro Gamer Boy, I believe, for talking about Eastward all the time. They kept bringing it up like it's just the best thing since a buttery nipple. The drink, you guys, seriously. So, of course, I had to give that a go.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Haven't played this yet, but we hear lots and lots of good things about It Takes Two, another one of those lovely co-op games. So I've been recommended this from a lot of different people, so we're really looking forward to playing It Takes Two. One of the games I actually did stop playing Dreamlight Valley for was Hogwarts Legacy. I haven't quite finished it yet, I think because I don't want it to be over, because I do have so much fun running around Hogwarts that I don't want to, like, finish it. Until 2 is announced, I probably won't finish Hogwarts. You actually got me this game for Christmas. It's got a bunch of different fun little time management games on there, because you know those are the kind of games I like. I like games where I can just mindlessly play and I don't have to feel too stressed out. Another one that I have never played but I was kind of interested in was the Monster Hunter games, mostly because of our amiibo that we got. I love the little monsters in them. I don't know, but I think somebody said like you can take care of monsters in here. That's more what I'm interested in. I want to take care of the monsters. I just want to run around and capture them and stuff. Because of my Switch, I decided might as well see what these Splatoon games are like, so I got Splatoon 3. Gonna give it a try at some point, I'm sure. And then my most recent game I got for my birthday is the Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. I hope this is what I think it is, because I'm pretty sure it's a Switch game, so... I am having fun playing this. Some parts of it are a little confusing. It's definitely a long game. I had no idea that this was based off of a role-playing game that one of my favorite TV shows was based off of. So when we first started playing this, I was like, all of this sounds really familiar, like even the factions and stuff like that. And then you were like, yeah, it's based off a role-playing game. And I was like, oh, cool. So it made this game even cooler. Yeah, that was actually a fun, wild surprise. Like, oh, okay. Great co-op game right here, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We played all of the, or both of the X-Men Legends games back in the day, and the other Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. So when this came out, and I'm pretty sure it was Switch exclusive. Yeah, definitely had to have that. Plus, we're huge Marvel fans. Yes. But you know what irritates me about those games? It doesn't matter if whoever your favorite X-Men is, your favorite X-Men, inevitably it's not the one that's the best playing one for you on the game. It never fails. I can never play as the characters I actually really like, because the way my play style, I'm better off using this character. And I don't like that. It drives me nuts. Hey, as I'm filming it, it's 2024. The Olympics just happened. But I didn't see Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. This always surprised me. It's like... That's because they're not friends. It's such a weird, like, combo to put them at the Olympics. Oh, wait, this doesn't even count. This is Tokyo 2020. That's why I didn't see them at the Olympics, of course. You can't have any kind of Nintendo collection without a Mario Kart game. Come on, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You know, this got a lot of flack because it was basically a port from the Wii U, but then they kept adding a bunch of tracks and everything, which I really loved.
And honestly, I don't care because I love Mario Kart games. They're fantastic for you and I to play together.
They really are fun.
Always a great party game. Holy cow, I think this is another one of those super old videos we did. Mario and Rabbids.
Because we got the big statue with it.
Yeah, that weird rabbit with a gun.
It's
I don't
Mario
think a
Rabbid.
rabbit should have a gun.
What the hell's a rabbit?
Co-op alert! Luigi's Mansion 3.
I love the
anything
Luigi's
Luigi.
Mansion, yes. And so with this one, I knew I wanted to get it instantly, but then the fact that you could play with me made it even cooler. So you play as Luigi, and I play as Luigi.
Yeah, she makes me the booger guy.
But hey, we have a cool custom amiibo though that not a lot of people out there have, based on Luigi.
Yeah, we do. He glows in the dark.
He does.
Live Alive. Sega
I don't want
Head
to live dead.
sent me this game because he so wants me to play it, and someday I will, or I'll be dead, and then that's the reason why I won't be able to play it. This is actually a port though of a classic Super Famicom game that was only released in Japan. I always did want to try it out and everything. I'm very curious about it. Since he gives it such high praise, I'm very much looking forward to giving it a go.
I really feel like I need to accidentally break both of your legs, or somehow that you have to be doctor's note laid up at home for a couple of months from your job,
Oh, man.
so that you could actually play some
I would get through so many games and 2 RPGs in that time. We got the Japanese version of Tears of the Kingdom.
simply because it's Zelda.
Speaking of simply because it's Zelda, I made a fun little cover for the expansion pass. No, wait, I didn't make this. This was from the store.
Yeah, we asked GameStop if we could have it when they were done having it on display, and they said, sure, why not?
Just because it's neat. It's Zelda, had to have it. Skyward Sword HD. I don't know. I liked the game well enough back on the Wii. I wasn't really clamoring for the chance to replay it, but this might be a nice way to experience it, have it look all nice and everything, so why not?
And it's Zelda, you don't need an excuse.
This was, I guarantee, one that we picked up because it was cheap. L.A. Noire, and this is my chance to play it because you had previously played this game.
I did, yes. I loved that game except for the driving parts. I'm terrible at driving.
Something I absolutely had a blast with was Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Oh my gosh, what a fun, gorgeous game.
I like when he played the car.
This was one of those games that when I was done, it's like, but I want more. I want to keep playing more.
Kirby's cute when he swallows big items.
I Am Setsuna. This was another one of those games that was kind of touted as a Chrono Trigger style game, and I was super happy to finally grab a physical copy of it. It's not a North American copy, but it should play on the Switch just fine. And again, just throw that in the stack of RPGs that I swear someday I'm going to play. The Hyrule Warriors game, The Age of Calamity. Now, the Hyrule Warriors, they do that whole Dynasty Warrior style gameplay where it's just you against hundreds of foes. But this one actually had a really deep story, and I really wanted to play it to get that story because it kind of delves into the champions, you know, their backstory from Breath of the Wild. Oh my gosh. Hello Neighbor. To be fair, when you watch trailers of these, it looks really neat. It looks fascinating.
Really cool.
We bought both of them because we had a really good price on them
Yes.
and everything, but we never got around to hide and seek because the first one...
We couldn't stand the first one. It was not fun. We were struggling with things. It just wasn't enjoyable.
Now, that was a game that I played for you and your sister, and not only was
Yes.
I getting frustrated trying to control anything, but you guys just were not enjoying watching
So we
it
didn't
at
even
all.
move on to hide and seek. So if that one's better, I guess we'll never know.
Has-Been Heroes. I know nothing about this game except that we got it super cheap. This was very early
The trailer
on
made
the
it look
Switch.
super fun. So
Yeah, I don't even remember the trailer. I just know it was super cheap one day at GameStop, and I was like, all right, let's get it. Oh, it was a dead game.
This game was amazing. We had so much fun playing online with all of our friends. We literally had a standing game every Sunday that us and a bunch of our friends, literally from across the United States and overseas, would get together and play this game together. It is so much fun. I am so upset that they had to shut the servers down and they weren't supporting this game anymore because, oh my gosh, it is an amazing game. It's a perfect Friday the 13th game.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of games to sink hours into, how about The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim?
Oh, I love that game.
Now, I initially played this on a PlayStation system, but when it came out on Switch, again, perfect reason for me to go back to it. And with the Switch, I didn't have to steal the TV.
I have often said if we had stupid money to build a house, I was going to take them into the house building mode of that game and be like, this is how you are to build my house.
Dragon Quest XI.
I enjoyed watching you play this game.
I loved this game. I am a longtime fan of the Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior games starting from NES days. And this one was like the culmination of every little thing that made the whole franchise amazing. I had so much fun playing this. I even used the slime controllers to play it at times.
He did, yeah.
And because I'm such a fan, I had to have the Dragon Quest trilogy. I got about 2/3 of the way through the first game, and I think I got distracted on something. It was like a weekend we were away, and I managed to get 2/3 of the way through that game. But yeah, what a great way to revisit the games, because with that updated graphical look, they look amazing. They play amazing. I remember getting this.
This game we got at a convention. Knew nothing about it. We literally got it because I pulled it and I said, is this me and you on the cover of this game? But it is a fun farming simulator game, which I absolutely love that, with an added bonus of zombies coming to attack you. The only thing I didn't like was the way it controlled. The controls were pretty terrible in this game.
We actually enjoy collecting all things Dragon's Lair, so we got the Dragon's Lair trilogy here, which is very cool to have because it has Dragon's Lair 1 and 2, as well as Space Ace. So you get all of that lovely Don Bluth animation goodness that you can want. And yeah, it's I don't know, it's just cool. It's fascinating. I've long been entranced by Dragon's Lair.
Sega found this game for us because we're such big Doctor Who fans, and I was like, well, I don't really like the Jodie Whittaker, but it has my favorite Doctor, David Tennant. So he went ahead and sent that to us from across the pond.
Yeah, because it did not come out in America.
No, it did not.
And if I recall, I think these may have been mobile games that got ported to the Switch.
Yes.
Oh man, Dead by Daylight. When we couldn't play Friday the 13th anymore, this was our backup.
It's a good concept, but I don't think it's executed very well. The maps are small, the maps are confusing, you have to work together in order to get out, and the bad guy is uber overpowered, and it just, it just wouldn't work.
Collection of Mana gave me a chance to go back and play some of the Mana games, which I enjoyed, starting with the Super Nintendo version. And this was a lot of fun that they got the Final Fantasy Adventure one, you know, touted or renamed that so it would sell a little better because people in America knew what Final Fantasy was at the time, not so much Mana. Chrono Cross. My PS1 original is still sealed. Me and a buddy thought, if Chrono Trigger was worth so much money, Chrono Cross, yeah, that didn't pan out. But here's a fantastic way for me to revisit it. And this includes Radical Dreamers, which was kind of the text-based Satellaview follow-up to Chrono Trigger, on which most of the story in Chrono Cross is based off of. And to this day, this is my shining example that Square is doing something with Chrono Trigger, you guys. Because why not put Chrono Trigger on here and have it just be a full bundle? All 3 entries would be on here. They didn't do it because they've got something up their sleeves. Mark my words. Cave Story was something that I would hear about all the time. It seemed to be one of those, but basically a darling that people would always go on and on about.
I actually played this game. This was a game that Sega recommended to us, and I'm not going to tell you his description of the game because it's disgusting. But I actually really enjoyed this game. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of like a puzzler, and you got to be the bad guy, basically, and you ate things. You ate people. It was cool.
I'm not saying that I have a whole lot of rhythm, so I don't know how well I will do at Cadence of Hyrule, but this is Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring the Legend of Zelda version, and again, because of that Zelda, I had to get it, but I am looking forward to trying it out. Maybe I got some moves I don't even know about. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. This is that game that it's like, hey, Konami, if you're not going to do anything with Castlevania, we're going to make a Castlevania game. I mean, that's it in short. And this, Madeline, Battle Princess Madeline. Basically, this is saying, hey, Capcom, if you're not going to make a Ghosts and Goblins game, we'll make one. If I recall, there's a story about this where maybe a father made it for his daughter, and that's who the girl is. Like, that's the daughter, she's the hero. If that's true, awesome. If that's not true, I just made a fun story up. Battle Chasers Night War. I was looking forward to getting this. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And honestly, I've always liked the Battle Chasers comics. I like the characters and everything, and that was reason enough for me to get it. This is a Japanese baseball game. You know why I got this, you guys? It is because there is a special amiibo card in here.
And because we're collecting everything amiibo.
That's the only reason I got that game, you guys. Thanks to Bandana, we have the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection. Not only are you playing Atari games, I mean, this is one of those things that just pays tribute to Atari in all the right ways. And let's face it, we're old gamers, so, you know, we grew up with Atari. How many hours do you think you put into it?
Oh, untold number of hours. Well, my Switch would tell me, but I guess I should say. I'm at least 2 years, maybe, I think, straight. I usually do with Animal Crossing hot and heavy like crazy every single day, and then one day I just stop, and then I don't ever go back to it.
Do you think your animal people miss you?
I kind of do want to go back and see if everybody's still living there, or if I got a bunch of letters of like, you ignored us, you don't love us anymore, we left.
What if they couldn't get off the island and had to take to eating one another? What? Come and visit Truberbrook. I don't know how to pronounce that. This was one of those games that we saw at GameStop, and we pulled up a trailer, and it actually looked like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It has like that mystery element to it. It looks like it's very story-driven. Drew us in, and we thought this would be a fun game to kind of play together.
And then we forgot about it.
Freaking Chris, Telesplash Gaming, the trollster himself, sent us a copy of Troll and I. And in all honesty, I've not heard anything good about this game, but I want to give it a go. I would love to be able to beat it and like send it back to him in pieces and say, I beat your game.
I just liked it because the troll was cute.
The Takeover. This is one of those beat 'em up games, so co-op goodness for us. But this was kind of one of those games that felt like, okay, if they're not going to put out a new Streets of Rage game or Final Fight game, here you go. Which is funny because then they put out a new Streets of Rage game. Aw, Yoshi.
This was a game that I wanted, and then I think you ended up playing it more than me because I'm terrible at platformers. But Yoshi, I absolutely love Yoshi. I collect anything Yoshi, so of course when his games come out, I have to get them.
Well, I'm glad you did actually because I loved this game. And the visual style, the Yoshi games always embrace like such a fun visual style, from like the crayon aesthetics of the Super Nintendo game.
The yarn version of this one.
Yeah, I mean, it is so much fun to see.
His sound effects are just adorable.
So Undertale is one of those RPGs that everyone goes on and on and on about. I had to add it to the collection, and I do hope to try it out someday. I feel like the internet has ruined a few things for me, but I don't know when this game first came out, so that's probably on me that things are getting ruined. Sword of Vagrant I did play through. This was a fun one. Very much a, you know, kind of a 2D action RPG. The visuals are really cool. I mean, not just the main character and what makes her so eye-popping, but all of the visuals are really gorgeous. It was such a fun and quick game. I was able to knock that one out, and I felt good because I finished the game. Get everyone together. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's Smash Brothers. What else is there to say except please stop making amiibo, please. And stop adding characters to this game that force you to make more amiibo. All right, so here we have the Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe. So you can have fun with people's grandpa of YouTube right here. Would you like to say some of his favorite words? No, I don't think you do.
Shit pickle.
I knew it. I knew that was the one she was going for.
I have the earrings.
A blast from the past, Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. These are classic games, and what better way to play a classic game than on a modern system? Nintendo does that well. You know what Nintendo doesn't do well sometimes? What they choose to pack in. I still think 1-2 Switch should have been the pack-in game.
It should have been, because it was 100% a device demo to show you exactly what the Switch can do. It really, really should have been. But I think they got away from doing the pack-ins because they realized they could make more money off of you by making you buy the game and buy the system.
Focus on pressing the buttons from top to bottom. Good work.
I like 1-2 switch. I think it's a lot of fun because especially when you get a group of people around, you're just goofing around, having a fun time, looking ridiculous by some of the things that the 1-2 switch makes you do.
Oh, hello? Hello? Look at your hands as you milk.
Come on, sir. Just keep playing. Just keep playing. Remember. Not enough.
All the Mario games. Super Mario Brothers Wonder was a wonderful game. I did everything in this game except the super, very, very last level. That's more of a kind of a marathon thing, and that's honestly because my hands just couldn't keep up. But I had such a blast with that game. They did a great job with it. Super Mario RPG, what a fantastic game to begin with, and to be able to return to it, one of my favorites. I get to play it all over again for the first time. The quality of life changes that they made in the game make it a super quick romp through a role-playing game.
It just felt short.
That was a problem because, yeah, it very much did feel short. So for better or worse, you get kind of a short RPG experience. But maybe it's because I knew what I was doing.
That's true.
Because I'm a pro. You want to talk about games I wish I could play for the first time all over again? Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Now, this one I did 100% complete. I had to.
I would really love for them to follow that game up with a sequel.
Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Even though I'm pretty sure we have 3D World on the Wii U, I never got around to playing it, but I did play through it on the Switch. And honestly, I was a little underwhelmed for all the love that it gets. Like, it's good, it's fun, but unlike these other Mario games that I did like everything that I could, I didn't do that with that. But then Bowser's Fury felt so different, and I had a blast with that. And then Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Look, I got this solely for the collection. I don't care about Super Mario 64. It was a technical marvel of sorts back in its day, but even then I didn't really care for it. Never cared for Super Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy. Yeah, it's fine. Paper Mario, the Origami King. I was looking forward to playing this. I haven't actually played a whole lot of the Paper Mario games, so yeah, sign me up for it. Although, this one, I don't think it got a whole lot of love. It kind of flashed on the radar and then was gone. Here's a game, thanks to the lovely lady, that I finally get to play because this thing is like ridiculously expensive, I feel, every time I look it up for, what was it, Xbox or 360?
Yeah.
But they re-released it for the Switch. I finally get to check it out. I have long been a fan of the soundtrack that came with the game. I love the covers of the music. Streets of Red is video games versus horror movies. I believe this is a co-op darling that you and I are going to have to work on sometime soon. I guess we're both going to have to break some legs so we can stay home and play some games together.
Obviously. This is a game that I tried out and I didn't get very far in it because I think something else popped up, or I don't know, some things distract me very easily. I've always loved the Harvest Moon games. I originally first played it on the Game Boy. And I just kind of pop from console to console. I skip a couple consoles. So, yeah, but I love farm simulator games.
Spider Swords.
That sounds painful.
Another kind of run and gun style game. It looked very equivalent to the Contra games and such. And again, co-op. So I thought it'd be a fun one for us to play, even though I think there's a lot of like creepy crawly things that you may not really care for.
No. I hate spiders.
Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn. Who doesn't remember the classic Shaq Fu back in the 16-bit days when they brought him back for the Switch?
Some of these games I don't remember getting.
Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy. I remember the PS1 originals, and I was a little nervous about this game. You adore Spyro.
I love Spyro. I
cute.
mean, he's adorable, he's dragon, and he's purple.
And he's purple.
What else do I need?
I played through the first game, and because of Sega Head, I 100%ed that. But it did kind of burn me out from the other two games. So maybe someday we'll see. Puyo Puyo and Tetris.
An odd combo to put together.
This was an earlier Switch game, and having a nice, fun puzzle game, you know, something to pop in and play just a few minutes for, is exactly why we got it.
I loved this game. This game is actually what got me into Pokemon, because I'd always thought of Pokemon for some reason as like a little kid game. I didn't realize until I started playing it that no, some of those Pokemon are terrifying and children shouldn't be playing them. But I loved this game. I played the hell out of this game. I even bought like the Pokeball that you threw and caught and stuff like that. This is a game that I would love for it to continue, to keep going. Like it would keep getting like updates and expansions and stuff like that. So this is actually what made me move on to all the other Pokemon games. And Eevee is one of my favorite Pokemon, so.
I got Owlboy because it looks like a lot of fun. It's gorgeous looking. It looks to be like a very good platformer, and I love my platformers.
I like owlbears. Is Owlboy like an owlbear?
The only owlbear I know lives in the Pacific Northwest and goes by Bigfoot these days.
Soon, Owlbear became a tall, hairy man with long hair and fingernails and bare feet.
I've heard a lot of good things about the Ori games. This is the Ori collection. So you've got The Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps. This is one of those games that visually it is so unique looking. They're doing a lot of stuff with lighting effects here, but I think it'll be pretty enough that you won't mind me playing. The Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. We played so much of this back on the Wii U together. That's why we haven't played the Switch version, but we got in so much trouble with this game. I'm pretty sure this is the one where you could bubble up, and whenever danger was coming...
There were a few times that you would tell me to bubble up just to get us through a level. That one, though, we actually tried to play with our kiddo. She would panic and put herself in a bubble, and then you and I would die, and then we were just screwed.
Another Pokemon game must be you.
I played this one very briefly because I thought like the concept sounded great, and then everybody was like, you're literally just taking pictures of Pokemon, and I was like, I don't care. And then I did play it, and I was like, okay, you're right. No.
You're literally just taking pictures.
You're literally just taking pictures of Pokemon, and that's it. But the bad thing is, it's like, it would be more fun if you went on a stupid cart. So you literally have to take pictures as you're moving. I feel like it would be better if it was free reign and you were a Pokemon, or, you know, one of the character trainers, and you could literally walk around and take pictures of things, relying on the stupid cart, and you're just like, I want to take a picture, but I can't because the cart's moving.
Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Oh, it must be a me game because it's another Shantae game. This one I've actually not jumped into yet because I totally forgot about it.
But he has it now.
How dare me? Hey, check it out. I got a new Shantae game to play. Speaking of pirates, 7 Pirates H. This was one of those games that I picked up from East Asia.
What's the H stand for?
Oh, it stands for hello, because you can take on naughty enemies in turn-based combat. Yeah.
What are you turning?
Upgrade stats and skills, accept side quests.
Hey.
Oh, what?
Hey, we have a video to do here.
Something that we had to have because we both enjoy the Sega Genesis so much. This has 50 retro Sega favorites. I mean, we're talking things like the Vector Man games. You've got Toe Jam and Earl. You've got some Phantasy Star. Gunstar Heroes is on this. Come on. Decap Attack. What a fun, unique game. You got your Golden Axe games. 1, 2, and 3 even.
Things like this I would have loved as a kid. First of all, I would have loved the Switch because it would be perfect for taking on trips with you. But then you get something like this and you only have to take one cartridge with you and you have so many games to play.
The Mighty Switch Force Collection. I think I managed to play one of these on, maybe it was a 3DS. I had a load of fun with it. So when this collection came out with, it looks like 4 different games on there. I didn't even know there were that many. I went ahead and grabbed it because I thought it'd be a lot of fun. It's also by Way Forward, so the people who do Shantae. So I think I'm in the good there. River City Girls 1 and 2. This is the Japanese version, but the nice thing is with the Switch, it really doesn't matter.
Nope.
Especially when it's a brawler or a beat 'em up like this. And I love the fact that this takes place, I think, canonically, in the same world as River City Ransom because you're saving like guys from there. So it's great. Plus, great music. It's a lot of fun. Great game. I don't need to tell you guys about it. How much time do you think we spent on this? Not this, the Switch version.
Just Minecraft itself.
But yeah.
Oh, many, many hours. Because once we couldn't play Friday the 13th anymore, we had to find a new game to play with our friends from across the pond. We started playing this one. We mainly picked the Switch version up because we wanted to play the Mario world in it.
So this is the cathedral that Do You Nerd built.
Rayman Legends. Pretty sure this was another cheap pickup, but it's a great little platformer. Run, jump, fight, save the day. I mean, hey, it's a platformer. I'm down for that. I'm also down for Romancing Saga 3 because, hey, it's a role-playing game and I'll probably never make the time to play it. Fun fact, though, back in the day, me and my buddy Jason were trying to collect all the Squaresoft games, even the Japanese ones, so I had, for the Super Famicom, Romancing Saga 1, 2, and 3, but they were in Japanese. But when you would put them in the system, holy cow, especially 3, you watch that little intro cutscene and everything, there's so many layers of scrolling going on. It looked gorgeous. I just couldn't understand what anybody was saying. But now I can because I've got this and they translated it for me. That's sweet of them.
And when will you play it?
Probably never. Break my legs, please. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. This is another one of those games that visually, it looks gorgeous. I so want to play it because it just looks so gorgeous. The only thing is, it says it's a blend of intense platforming and then farming simulation. So this is one of those games. Could we alter playing? Like I do the platforming things, you do all the farming sim stuff? Like would that even work?
We could try. That's a lot.
Oh my gosh, this was a mistake.
I didn't even realize we had this many.
You know, all of the little cases, for one, like when you put them on the shelf, they take up so little space that they literally add up fast. But then all these big box things, we have some on display here in the game room. We have some in the spare bedroom. We have some in the hallway with other games. They're literally all over the place. And in all honesty, I would not be surprised if we forgot something. If between now and before it's finished, future Tom and Lacey, if we forgot something, this is your one shot to add it in right now.
The future has finally arrived, but don't worry, it just means your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has.
Nerdlings, if you stuck around for this super long video, thank you so much. This is less for you guys and more for insurance purposes to prove that, yeah, you know, we got a lot of Switch games here. We've put a lot of money into Nintendo's pocket. So I hope to get an invite to the Christmas party.
What's wrong with you?
Anyway, leave some comments down below and let us know what kind of a Switch fan you are. And let us know if insanely you want us to go through some other collection, and maybe someday we'll do it. No promises though.
All right, let's actually play some games. What do you say?
I've got to go get some work done. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna get you to be able to play some games. So
this is going to hurt.
Are you ready?
But I like where you're going with this.
Close your eyes. Here it comes.
Save me, Glenn. Oh shit.
What?
Only got 46 minutes on this.
I kind of gurgled on that. I was like, I do.
Saturday morning RPG.
Let's
this
play with a toy.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Ooh, tart.
Gun butt. My Borma. Did you say Nintendo?
I did. Want to try that again?
Yeah. We got a lot of Switch games.
I like the Switch. That's my favorite game system ever.
Okay, ready?
Yes, sir.
Shack Fuel.
And so mostly, mainly. Monthly.
Monthly.
Oh my gosh.
Are you gonna leave it there and remember that you already
Nope.
talked about it? That's what I thought.
Take that.